his admiration and things like that. But I mean, you can, to me, you can substitute anyone. Jesus would do, you know, as a person that in his time was called a fool, but who was actually rather smart.
We are here in the most sacred of all sacred spots to do with the Beatles anywhere in the universe, and that's the roof of the Apple building here in the heart of central London. Now, it was many, many years ago that the Beatles played their last collective note of music together ever on a beautiful sunlit day like this. It was a great free concert for everybody in London, that is until the cops shut them down. But what the Blue Meanies couldn't stop was this state of consciousness that the Beatles had brought about in society. I don't know if it was the drugs or the meditation in India, maybe their cool suburban upbringing, who knows. But there was something that the Beatles had gleaned from their lives, which they spit out in their music, which inspired, well, people right up to this very day. So as we look here, out onto the London skyline, we look back and we remember the Beatles for what they were, one of the greatest groups of the 60s or ever. As for the fabled Lennon-McCartney songwriting partnership, by the mid-1960s it was only a dim memory. McCartney shares his thoughts on Lennon's input into the moving Hey Jude and other precious memories.
For instance, there was a thing when I just finished Hey Jude, I was playing it to John, and showing him working on for his comment, in case he hated anything in it. And I got some bits of some lyrics that say the movement you need is on your shoulder. And I said, don't worry about changing that. They said, what do you mean changing? I said, like it's brilliant, but that's the best line on the whole song. What do you mean? I know what it is. So the other night I was doing things and I got to that bit and I thought, it's very difficult to sing it. It's great. Something that is real. Get Back we just did in the Let It Be film. We made it up during that film, played it on the roof. And I never really played it again. So it's really nice to get back to those songs because they're fresh, for me anyway. You know, I've been doing all the other material a lot more often than that. So it feels really good to do. And I think the audience likes them. I mean, you see people in the audience kind of my age, like with kids and stuff. And you see grown men crying and stuff. There's a lot of emotion comes because I think it reminds people either of a better time or when they were first courting with each other or something. It's what these songs seem to do, you know. They take people back, which is like obvious, but they take them back to a good place, which isn't so obvious. So it's great. It's really good to be the person singing that thing when you see them going through all this stuff. I have lots of memories. You do know that. I met Ed Sullivan on the street once. John, who entertained me? I didn't recognize him. I said, yeah. Who's on your shoulder? Got big figures. Oh yeah, sure. Well, when I was a kid, I never really listened to any classical music at all. My dad was kind of a jazzer. He liked, you know, she liked all that, played all that. So he used to turn it off. If it ever came on the radio, it was just the kind of thing he turned off. You know, so when I grew up, we kind of started getting into writing music and go into sessions where strings were used and stuff, and hearing the orchestra warm up before. I really got into it. And so it was George Martin suggested to do string quartet on yesterday, and I said, you're kidding? String quartet? He said, trust me, let's just try it. So we sat down, I sat down with him, arranged it, put a couple of little funny oddball things in. Well, I mean, the memories it brings back is when we toured with the Beatles, playing the first time we went to Budokan Hall. A few people supposed to have threatened Harry Carey or whatever it is, because it was supposed to be sacrilegious to play there. And obvious memories of when I got busted last time, fairly obvious. response of the Japanese girl says, something distasteful happened to your husband. What was that, baby? But I feel okay about it. I don't feel amazingly sort of guilty or anything. You know, it had to be, I guess. This is the law. It's a dubious anniversary, as you say. You know, it's a pity the Beatles broke up. We were a great band, but we'd come full circle. We were starting to get on each other's nerves, as anyone who kind of read the history of the times can tell. And I think the other thing was, like, we were kind of like army buddies. We'd done our stint, and now we wanted to sort of go and get married and find our own girlfriends instead of just live with each other the rest of our lives, which is kind of what it was looking like, you know. So, you know, we were going to be living in that same dorm for the rest of our lives. So it kind of had to happen, you know. It's just pity it happened in such a kind of unfriendly way, but it had to happen. Well, I don't know. The thing is, you know, do you expect them to go on forever? They're making more and more money, but making more and more bigger and bigger.
Well, John blamed it on Paul. John felt that not really on Paul, actually on the Eastmans. John blamed it on the Eastmans. John felt that if it hadn't been for Linda Eastman getting involved with Paul and bringing in Lee Eastman and John Eastman, the Beatles might have survived. But he was also honest in the sense that he admitted that he himself was, you know, basically looking for an alternative to the Beatles. By 1969, the Beatles knew that they were really finished. Musically, there were no real frontiers left to explore. Personally, they were all like at each other's throats, and Yoko entering the picture certainly was a catalyst for the breakup, and Yoko gave John an excuse to leave the Beatles. John always needed an alter ego, somebody that he could be involved with in a symbiotic way. And once Paul McCartney, John and Paul had become estranged around 1966-67, so he was always looking for somebody to take him away from the Beatles. And Yoko was that person, so, you know, really, it was probably Yoko who broke up the Beatles, but John didn't want to admit it. He blamed Paul and Linda Eastman, which was, I suppose, a rationalization for him. And probably the truth is somewhere in between. It was really a combination of Yoko and the Eastmans entering the picture that broke up the Beatles.
George Harrison, meanwhile, realizing that the Beatles were now truly over, had begun to develop in other areas. Musically, he was soon to bolt out of the gate with the magnificent triple album box set, All Things Must Pass, which reflected his impassioned views on the concept of innate spirituality, first awakened during his early experimentation with LSD. Now, however, he was determined to make a more mature approach to the subject, and thus began studying the benevolent philosophy of Hare Krishna founder A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Almost immediately, the kindly old gentleman from Calcutta and the